Welcome back to another episode of Brackin Forge Tutes. Today we are going to discuss the two power tools I think you should purchase after your angle grinder and files. One,
Can't see it.
okay.
Hey, I'm ready to talk about the drill press.
The first one is the drill press. Last episode we discussed that your first two tools should be an angle grinder and a set of files. And in the video we also said that we were going to go over the first two power tools that I think you should purchase. Well, one of those power tools is a drill press. For two big reasons. The first one being its versatility. The second one being its accuracy. When you're drilling pinholes in your handles or in your handle scales, or in your hidden tang handles, or even in your hidden handle tang blocks, things can get a little tricky. And when your drill bit is all wonky, doing this or that, it really makes a difference in the final fit and finish, as well as putting the knife together. Brian can tell you from experience, having pinholes not lined up is a nightmare with the glue.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
One of the great little bits and pieces that I'm going to tell you to go ahead and get right now, this guy. This is a countersink tool. I purchased this countersink tool over 6 years ago. I'm still using the same countersink tool. When you're countersinking your holes, what this does is this helps for pin alignment. It also helps give a little bitty well or belly for the glue to get into and really adhere around those pins when you're putting it in. If you're using things like cutler's rivets, it gives it a little mushroom effect and it locks that handle in even better. Countersink tool. Now, it wouldn't be Brackin Forge if I didn't show you something unique and different, right? This was my redneck way of doing choils. This is a sanding drum with a bolt through it that allows you to place it into your drill press. This kit came with all of that. I've got all these different drum sizes. I've got these, all these different bits and pieces. Look at this. It's crazy. Somewhere around here I have the one that fits in the big one. Now, I primarily just use the small ones, but I have used quite some of these 1-inch ones as well. This one right here is set up with the 1-inch one in it already. What this allows you to do when you're sanding out your knife and finishing out with the handles on it, it allows you to get nice and deep into that choil and give it a nice, good, clean look. These are one of the hardest places to get into when you're hand sanding your knife, and this tool allows you to do that. For me in my shop, the most common size drill bits that I use are 1/8 inch, 5/32, and a 1/4 inch. The 1/4 inch allows me to drill a bunch of little holes to lighten up the handle, and also are great for things like lanyard holes and the like. The 5/32 is what we commonly use for our cutler's rivets. The 1/8 inch pinhole is a very, very common pin size. It's sold at a lot of different websites, just brass pin stock, mosaic pin stock. A lot of it comes in 1/8 inch handle holes. So those are the three drill bits that I would suggest getting first. Did you also know that we make a variety of camping, hunting, EDC, and tactical production knives? This is the Nightmare and the Black Bear, and you can get them at brackinbladesforge.com. The second power tool that I think that you should purchase as a new knife maker is a Dremel. Now, this tool gets overlooked quite often for its small size, but this guy is a very, very versatile tool. Let me go over some of the things that you can do with it. Cleaning up ricassos, dental hygiene, fullers, sanding up the blade, moving through different things, creating choils, surgical procedures, little bits of engraving here and there, spine work. Did I mention engraving? Cleaning up with fullers? There's a lot of different bits that you can get for this Dremel. The one that I currently have on here is a single cut. Oh dude, this thing's mushroomed.
Throw it in the drawer, we'll use it for a pin.
No. It's not messed up, it's still good. I was mistaken. The bit that I have on here right now is a single cut carbide bit. Now, if you'll go back and watch our short, you'll see why not to use them as pins. But they're great for working on all different kinds of things. I'm not going to be right back. I'm on this episode. This is so stupid. I'll be right back. I'm every other YouTuber in the world. Here we go.
And we're back!
And we're back. So, this is just a rotary kit, a rotary accessory kit that came with all sorts of different bits and things like that. I'm going to open up and just kind of show you a few. just so that you can see the different kinds of bits you can get. It's not even an expensive kit. So this little green bit is like a soft stone bit. But you know what it's great for? There's little bitty transitions where you make your plunge lines from your ricasso through your bevel. And those little bitty transition lines are hard to clean up. And a lot of times you don't have a 2x72 or a lot of fancy gear, or even sometimes the time to just sit there and hand sand them out until they look perfect. I Dremel them. The next one that I'm going to show you is a cutting disc. This tiny little cutting disc is used for all sorts of things. If you're making a skeletonized knife handle and you've got to hollow out the inside, after you get done with your angle grinder, this little guy can come in and finish the job off perfectly. You can also make small little lines if you're doing decorative lines and things like that before you do your larger engraving and things like that. You're just doing a series of straight lines. A lot of different ways that you can use this tool right here. One of the ways that I use this tool was actually on Season 7, Episode 33 of Forged in Fire, where I cut this hole out with a Dremel. This is a flat drum sander. If you go to our last Extreme Builds video, you're going to see the Fantasy Sword. We actually used this piece right here, this very one I'm holding in my hand, to clean up those fullers before we moved on to the quench. One of the reasons I did this is, you know, when you're cleaning up a knife and things like that, the lines going in the same direction is important. And so I wanted to make sure that the fuller lines got cleaned up and they looked really good before we went to the quench. And this thing saved my butt. There's so many different attachments. You can get a flexible neck for it so you can engrave better, things like that. There's so many different attachments you can get for a Dremel. You need to get one. There's no question about it. And you can even get drill press stands for them. So many different options. Just as a demonstration, a little show and tell, I want to show you guys something that I did in an old, very old video. And I did all of it with a Dremel. And that was the dragon's head on the Dragon Wakizashi. All this was carved with just a Dremel. And all the engraving on this knife was done with the Dremel. Still one of my favorite knives. If you're enjoying this content and our other content, please hit the like button, the bell notification button, and the subscribe button. Also, there's a link below to our Patreon. You should support us so our wives will continue to let us make videos for you. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Brackin Blades Forge Tutes. Tune in next time where we're going to talk about tongs and hammers and which ones I recommend that you use. Stay sharp.